Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be trying out the Paul Rubin oil pastels. Thank you so much to them for sending this product to me. This is my first time using oil pastels in like 3-ish, maybe 4 years, so it's safe to say that any skill that I did have with them is now gone. As always, the packaging is so minimalistic yet pretty. I loved how they design all their products, and on the back it just listed all the colors that I got. This is the 48 set, by the way. I will be linking it in the description as well as Paul Rubin's Instagram page, and so you guys can get inspired to draw with them as well. On the inside, there's a swatch sheet, which I was actually surprised about because I didn't know that oil pastels came with them. I thought it was just an alcohol marker thing for some reason. And there's also a pamphlet sort of brochure thing that lists all the colors in every set that they sell, which I thought was pretty cool because that way you can see what is in every set and which set you want to buy next if you want to upgrade your oil pastel collection. They also had a little foam sheet separating the oil pastels from the swatch sheet, which I later learned was very important because these oil pastels are super pigmented. Here's a closer look at them. I learned that some of the colors, if you hold them, they feel like oily or greasy. I'm not exactly sure how to describe it. It's not like a bad feeling, and it's not visible either, but I just thought that I'd point that out because there's like this kind of texture to the outside of them. So as I began swatching them, you can see that I was literally shocked by the texture of these oil pastels. They were so buttery and soft. When you use them, they would literally just melt onto the paper in the best way possible. This later made blending super easy, even if you're a beginner like me. I really like the color variety. There's an even amount of shades for every color and not just emphasis on one like there usually is. They also had a good range of lights and darks and medium tones, which is really nice. These pastels are also super affordable in comparison to many other brands. This set in particular, like I said before, is the 48 set and it costs $28, meaning each oil pastel is about 58 cents. This paired with the creamy texture of these pastels makes them a really good option, whether you're buying them as a gift for a friend or want to experiment with the medium yourself. Overall, I was pleasantly surprised with these oil pastels, especially since I haven't used any in a while, and I didn't really have any expectations set for when I was actually going to use these, but they were really fun to get the hang of, and I think I did actually really enjoy using them in the end. Now I'm beginning the actual drawing portion of this video. So this drawing is of Kageyama Tobio from Haikyuu, which is a volleyball sports anime. Ignore how he looks like a freaking minion right now. It gets better after I layer the skin colors, I promise, so just bear with me. Originally, this video was supposed to come out like last week and I had everything filmed and ready, but the drawing I did actually looked so bad. Basically, I was trying to replicate a Studio Ghibli scene using these pastels. I think the scene was from Kiki's Delivery Service, by the way, which is, I think, the first Studio Ghibli movie that I watched. Either that or Ponyo. Anyway, I was clearly not skilled enough to pull that off, which is to be expected since this is my first time using these type of pastels. They were also really soft like I mentioned before, and I wasn't able to get the sharp line art look that's so iconic to Studio Ghibli movies. So overall, I scrapped the piece even after finishing it because unless you're 5 feet away and squinting your eyes, it doesn't look that good. I've drawn Kageyama at least 3 times this week because first I was doing the Barbie movie template thing with him and Hinata that's been going around on Instagram. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is what it is, but basically it's been trending recently. I also drew a separate piece of him and Hinata just because I felt like it and I wanted some anatomy practice, so I drew them like sitting down. And also, I was doing standardized testing this week, so I was doodling haikyuu characters and Kirby on my test paper when I finished, so his design is now permanently ingrained in my head. I wanted to do a matching oil pastel piece with Hinata, but I didn't have time to do that this week, but let me know if you guys want more oil pastel draw with me videos or any other medium other than markers, because that's what I usually do. I did recently start rewatching Haikyuu's last season for like the 100th time, but something about the animation is just so much fun to watch, especially the scenes where they play against Inarizaki. Speaking of animes, I also started watching Skip and Loafer, which is seriously the cutest anime ever. It's a show about a high school girl who moves to Tokyo and meets a bunch of people while making friends. It's literally so wholesome and so relatable. I feel like every single character is just so relatable in some way, and I just really like that about the show, so I definitely recommend watching it. And who knows, maybe one of my upcoming videos will also feature fan art for this show. I also did stop watching Fruits Basket because I literally forgot it existed. Like, I was on a grind of watching it for a solid 5 days, and I got through a lot of episodes too. But after that, I think I just like slowly forgot about it because I was overwhelmed with tests and stuff since the end of the year is nearing. So hopefully once school lets out, I'll be able to continue watching it. Back onto the topic of these pastels, I used to do so many oil pastel drawings using my favorite Castell oil pastels that my grandparents got me, except the formula of those pastels would be a lot different and it would be like harder. It definitely wasn't as soft as these. However, that made layering with them easier, but the blending took a lot more effort, which is basically the opposite of what these do. Honestly, I kind of prefer these just because I focus more on blending my art, but it was a lot of fun to experiment with the other ones, and I think I still have them, so I wonder how it would look if I like mix both of them together in an illustration. I think some of my older YouTube videos might even feature those pastels, though I most likely unlisted them because the art was so bad. I'm not sure though. I also really want to do a redrawing my old art video to get back into drawing, since I feel like because I haven't used alcohol markers in such a long time, I've kind of like lost part of my traditional art style. I've been struggling a lot with getting back into drawing because my digital art is flourishing. Meanwhile, my traditional art just seems to kind of be crashing and burning because every time I use a new medium that's not markers, it just changes so much and I'm not exactly sure what aspects of my style should keep the same and which ones I should change. So I've been kind of struggling with that, and I feel like it would be nice for me to just get the hang of my art style again and get some motivation by redrawing my old art so I can see how much I've improved over the years. This piece was pretty simple to do, and I had a lot of fun with it and mashing the anime art style with the oil pastel art, which I think was definitely a lot of fun. One tip that I do have if you're going to use oil pastels is to use Q-tips to like blend the oil pastels together, or you can also use your finger for larger areas, which is what I did for the skin. Basically, if you use Q-tips, it's a lot more precise and it'll definitely help you with like the precision. You can see in the hair, I kind of had like that soft blurred effect on the outline, which I really like, and I did use Q-tips to do that. Here you can see me, I'm like going in with it again. However, it was kind of annoying because sometimes if I used a darker color on the Q-tip and blended with it, then I would have to use a different Q-tip to blend a lighter color because I didn't want the colors like mixing together, which I did kind of struggle with on the outfit, but we're not going to talk about that. Another really important thing that I learned while using these oil pastels was the art of layering. Like I said before, these pastels make it a bit harder to layer just because of how soft their formula or like consistency is. So it was kind of hard to layer a lighter color on top of a darker one. Also, some of the pastels were like a lot creamier than others, and you could kind of see that because I was getting so many stains on the bottom of my paper after I started working on Kageyama's uniform. However, that couldn't really be avoided, so I think I did go in with the whiteout later. I'm not exactly sure if that helped or not because you can still kind of see the texture part of it. But definitely it helped on the skin when I layered. You could see at the beginning he looked like a minion, but then I layered like pinks and purples, and I also layered white over it to make sure that it was like a regular skin color. I do kind of want to try making brown skin with these, but I'm not exactly sure how that'll turn out, so that's definitely going to take some experimenting.